Good morning, everybody. So another week, we're all back at it here. Just want to go through a couple things related to what you're supposed to do this week to hopefully make it a little bit easier for you to find everything and navigate around. So you'll see here that in your classwork stream under that topic of the of mice and men distance learning unit, that you've got another portal for 427 to 51 assignments. So everything that you need to do and everything that you should need to do it should be in this portal. And yours might look a little bit different because this is kind of the teacher interface, but it should be relatively similar. So basically, there are two things that you're actually going to turn in here. The first is your copy of a document that looks like this. This is going to be your chapter 2 activities, and it kind of has to do with like language use, both kind of within the novel and within society as a whole. As you'll see here, there's some terminology that you're supposed to kind of think about, some sort of real life examples of. There is a quick video clip that you're going to watch and then just kind of write down some notes about. Um, there's a little bit of an independent research project where you'll pick one of these figures and sort of write a little bit about, I guess you could say, what they did that caused their downfall, or caused some controversy relating to this topic. All really open-ended questions. I mean, like I said, you're gonna have to do a quick Google search for whoever you pick from this list, in terms of this particular issue. But everything else is pretty opinion-based and subjective. And then there'll be one article down here that it'll ask you to read. It's pretty short and sort of a quick right question in terms of that article and kind of how this whole topic relates back to Of Mice and Men. Last week you had a pre-reading and a chapter 1, but this week you only have a chapter 2 doc that you're actually supposed to fill out. The other thing that you've got, that I'm going to ask you to do by the end of the week, is your chapter 1 and 2 quiz, which is on your reading schedule. Should be pretty straightforward, and this one, it is all multiple choice, so it should just give you a score when you're done, and eventually, when I get around to it, when everybody's done, that score will go into Aries as a quiz score. In terms of what else is here to kind of help you actually accomplish this efficiently, just remember that there kind of are a few things here. You've got your reading schedule, and the reading schedule does have links to the PDF and the audio. The PDF and the audio is also attached to the portal, so you can get to it whatever way you see as most convenient. Um, the sort of during reading questions, remember these are things that should help you during your quiz, but they are not necessarily requirements. So it might just be something to kind of look over briefly and make sure that you can actually answer. You'll also see that these slides have some overlap with your Chapter 2 activities in terms of the terminology and the video link, but it shouldn't absolutely be required that you look at them to be able to do the Chapter 2 activity. Other things that are here, remember on the PDF link that your page numbers, I know it's kind of annoying, but your page numbers are up here at the top. So you just have to keep kind of scrolling to the top to figure out what page you're actually on. And then remember that it's actually a mouse. I've spent years thinking this was a cat, but figured out that made no sense. So these mice actually are kind of your chapter divisions. So for chapter 2 that you're supposed to read this week, you're going to start from here and you're going to scroll down basically to the next page break, which is right here, or I guess you could say at the end of this section where you've got basically some open room. And that should match your reading schedule where it says to stop on 19. Obviously, 19's up here. Let's see what else is here. The audiobook. If you're someone that is helped by listening to it with audio, note for chapter 2, you want to start it at 28:16 and access it that way. And it'll should be pretty clear in terms of where the chapters start and end on that. And then the only other thing that we've got here is um just making sure that if you have not turned in your chapter 1 stuff, please make sure that you reach out to me and let me know. Like I said, I'm pretty lenient right now in terms of late work. Like I know we've all got different internet issues and different responsibilities that kind of make our days different than they would be if we were just in a classroom or classrooms all day. So let me know what's going on. I'm more than willing to work with you, but I do kind of need an update because otherwise that chapter 1 portal is going to be done and probably disappear as of Friday. Also, don't forget about your independent reading project. It's out there on the horizon, but we are getting in to kind of the home stretch since Friday will be May 1st, and the project's due the 29th. Zoom hours are going to be the same. I'll be up here during your class period on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I will also be available if needed between 3 and 4 for kind of an open drop in. And my only request there is if you are going to jump on after 3, if you can try to reach out earlier in the day, just so that I kind of know what to expect. Because usually, if nobody's on by 3:10 or so, I kind of go about some other business around the house. And then the only other thing I was going to say is if you don't jump on Zoom, just make sure that I hear from you or can see that you're working in some way. We're basically taking attendance by the week at this point. And so if it doesn't look like there's any signs of movement, myself or Mr. Olson or Miss Edwards is likely to be getting in touch with your parents or with you yourself and just kind of making sure that everything's all right. So if you don't want that extra call, just make sure that you kind of reach out in some way so that we can see where you're at. Have a good week. Hope you all are staying safe and semi-sane. And please let me know if you need anything. And we'll talk soon. Bye.